You know guys, before we start today's video, there's something I need to announce very quickly. Now if you can't tell, the Scatmaster has officially hit 25,000 subscribers, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like guys, Scatmaster Fooly, he's not the brightest, alright? So an achievement like this is just absolutely insane. But guys, we will have major announcements in my next video. We're gonna do a Q&A as well, which reminds me, if you haven't seen it, please do me a huge favor and hop over to the community tab on my channel. I want you guys to go to that post, and I want you to leave as many questions as humanly possible, alright? Ask whatever you want. Obviously, as it goes with Q&As, I probably can't answer every single question, so I'm going to be looking at a lot of the ones that have the most likes on them. So post your questions. If there's a question that you like and you want me to answer it, leave a like on it. It's very likely that I'll respond to it. So yeah, don't leave the questions under this video, leave it under the community tab, and very soon I will have a video answering as many questions as humanly possible, as well as a few other channel updates and announcements that are extremely exciting. I'm very hyped up for it, and I can't wait to share it with you guys, so be on the lookout for all of that. But guys, even though there has been so many great things going on with the Scatmaster, unfortunately, I cannot say the same for Call of Duty. Now, Season 5 has officially been announced for MW 2019 Part 3, and if I'm going to be honest with you guys, I haven't played since, I think, before Season 3 Reloaded, so the gameplay that you're watching, it's still pretty old. So, you know, before the gooch slickers start crying in the comments section talking about, oh, you hate the game but you still play it. Nah, this is old gameplay, alright? You're probably gonna see some X-Defying gameplay towards the back half of the video. But guys, MW 2019 Part 3 Season 5, it is as diluted as you could possibly imagine a Call of Duty season would be. Now, this is extremely interesting to me because, if I'm not mistaken, not too long ago, there's been a lot of people talking about how Sledgehammer Games are the GOATs of Call of Duty development teams when it comes to live support.
Excuse me, Ed, but is this your... Good Lord, man!
When it comes to post-launch content, and yet, despite all the gas they're getting, it looks like we're only getting 2 new maps in Season 5. I mean, we got Bait and Yard. Now, this is the thing about the map Yard, if I'm not mistaken, is that they're doing this whole cell cartoon layout thing. The best way to describe it is, if you've played Borderlands, then that whole art style, that's pretty much what this map is. And actually, funny enough, just like last season where they were promoting this pixelated 8-bit map and they just so happened to monetize it with an 8-bit bundle. Yeah, same thing here. We are shamelessly monetizing a new concept in Call of Duty instead of just giving us something decent. Of course, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what the community feels about it. I'm just gonna be the one to say it. This is not it. Alright, like this art style, I understand it's very attracting to a lot of people. Borderlands fans, please do not come for the Scatmaster. It's honestly not really a good idea. Like, I would smoke you in the comments section, I'm not gonna lie. But this whole art style, it's just not my thing, man. It doesn't look good. It looks off, especially in Call of Duty. I mean, we had that one skin earlier in this game's life cycle, and that thing just looks hideous, man. There's nothing you can tell me to convince me otherwise. That art style is fine for what it is, but it simply doesn't belong in COD. And of course, there's gonna be other map variants that are gonna have this exact same art style. I think they're doing it for Shipment, of course, Rust, of course, and the small cash house, I don't know what it's called, honestly, like I completely forgot. So new variants of old maps, I mean, it is what it is, but officially there's only 2 maps, and one of them is gonna be in that weird art style. Now, if that's your thing, that's your thing, but the Scatmaster's not into it. But it really begs the question, and it comes back to this point that I made earlier. I thought these guys were the kings of live service. This doesn't really seem like it to me, especially when you take into consideration we've been lied to. Now check this out from the Ghost of Hope first. He says, we're not gonna get a single MW3 remaster in a game called MW3. And of course, this just gives me PTSD to what, guys? What do you think this gives me PTSD about? MW 2019 Part 2, developed by who? It doesn't matter if we get a new set of developers. They can say they want to do certain things for us, but at the end of the day, why do we not have maps by the original MW3? What is the logic behind that? And that's the exact same thing that happened last year in MW2 and MW 2019 Part 2, and you saw how far that got us. You know, it's no wonder I'm probably titling the video something along the lines of Modern Warfare 3 is done, is over. You know, you gotta attract some of these gooch lickers. It's like throwing bait in the water and you're just waiting for a fish to come and grab it. And when you pick it up, it's one of the most ugly, disgusting, just disfigured, demented, discombobulated, deformed, nasty creature. And you just grab it off the hook and just and toss it back in the water, you know? But before we get into the Ghost of Hope smoking Sledgehammer Games for lying to us, we need to do a quick plug-in the same way that these other gooch lickers do their shameless plugins, with Charlie Intel coming out with more crazy skins coming in MW3 and Warzone Season 5, and I'm just gonna be straight up, guys. This stuff is just shamelessly hideous. Alright, like this first thing, the second thing, it has potential, but honestly, this third thing, I mean, I just got done making a joke about fishes and gooch lickers, and I'm not gonna lie, this fourth thing that's like a galaxy, astronomical, whatever this is going on, honestly, it doesn't look half bad. Once again, guys, the Scat Master's not a fan of promoting stuff to children in a game that's meant for people 18 and over. I'm not trying to be gimmicky and corny, I'm just letting you guys know what it is, alright? We don't really rock with that. If you're into that kind of stuff, you know, there's a place for you. It's called Epstein Island. You'll see some pretty familiar faces in there. Bobby Cosby, the new creative director for Call of Duty, and none other than the Doc, alright? I mean, the Doc's in there for good reason, I can't lie to you guys. But anyways, the Ghost of Hope called out Sledgehammer Games for lying to the community, and what is he referring to? He's referring to this tweet that came out from Charlie Intel back towards the launch of this game. Charlie Intel back then tweeted out, "Sledgehammer Games confirmed that there will be fan favorite maps from other Call of Duty titles returning in MW3 during post-launch seasons. The studio has already confirmed that there will be 3 6v6 maps for Season 1 and 3 6v6 maps for Season 2. Yeah, Season 1, 3 maps, Season 2, 3 maps, but anything that comes afterwards, yeah, we're gonna get back to that drip-fed garbage that Call of Duty's been on post-launch for the last like 4 or 5 years. And that is exactly what happened, guys. Never wrong, just early. Anyways, so the Ghost of Hope comes out and calls these guys a bunch of liars, which is true because, I mean, like you saw earlier, there still isn't a single semblance of a MW3 map in a game called MW3, which is why I refuse to call this game MW3. It's being called MW 2019 Part 3 because we're not going to disrespect those OG games. But anyways, the Ghost of Hope actually doubles down and says, "Sledgehammer Games, care to explain? Can hardly call 2 maps from Vanguard fan favorites or classics." And that's actually kind of crazy to think about, guys. I'm gonna be honest. Even though I don't really like the modern Sledgehammer games, they made some pretty good maps. Honestly, like you think back to some of the original MW3 maps created by Sledgehammer Games, we had a bunch of really good maps, guys. We had Seatown, Dome, Resistance, Downturn, Hard Hat, Lockdown, Village, Mission, and Underground. Like, these are some classic maps, and Sledgehammer Games actually created some of these. And then going forward, even into a game like Advanced Warfare, I understand we're not in the jetpack era anymore, and some of these maps wouldn't make any sense and they would have zero flow, but you're not gonna lie to me and tell me that we cannot have Detroit as a map in this game. Are you kidding me? And I'm sure it'd be pretty difficult, but if they really wanted to and they really cared about fan favorite maps, there's some gems in Advanced Warfare that you could easily make viable for boots on the ground. Not only that, look at World War II. That game sucks for the most part, but let's be honest. London Docks, Saint Marie du Mont, Valkyrie, which is literally just a different variant, a different reskin of Detroit, so that proves my point from earlier. And what about that sandbox map? That map is literally as fan favorite as you can get when it comes to Sledgehammer Games. That map was incredible. Where are these maps? Why are we pulling from Vanguard? Are you kidding me? Das House? What's the other map? What's the other map? Hold on, let me see. Gross House? What is Gross House? What? I have never played a map called Gross House. Can somebody please fill me in when this was added in? Because I have no clue what Gross House is. Is that actually a map, or is somebody trolling? What is this? Look guys, the point is, we're being lied to, and as a result, people are just sick and tired of what this game has to offer. And the people that are not sick and tired of it are just blatant gooch lickers. Look at this guy, his name is On the Horizon. Your name should be On the Short Bus. Are you kidding me? He says, what's your problem exactly? So annoying. The new maps we got are fire and better than some of the original MW2 maps the game launched with. This is just backwards thinking. This is somebody who settles for less, alright? When you are promised something and then you backtrack and say, well, you know what I got is okay for the most part. No. This is not Cuck City. This is Common Sense City. And thankfully, the Ghost of Hope comes back and says, my problem is the developers setting an expectation of fan-favorite remastered maps and not meeting those expectations at all. They had no need to comment on remastered maps at all like they did if they're not going to have any outside of Vanguard maps. And that is just absolute facts. How are we going to be lied to by these developers and then still call them the best live service developers? Are you kidding me? No. That is not how things go around here. Listen, when you roll with the Scatmaster, you learn to start respecting yourself at least a little bit, alright? Settling for this garbage, this mumbo-jumbo, malarkey tomfoolery, nah, it's not it anymore, alright? There's too many people working on Call of Duty to continuously lie to us or make these god-awful decisions. We're pushing like month number 9, and we don't have an original MW3 map in a game called MW3. So this is exactly what I mean when I say MW3 is done. Because there's no new offerings that are actually viable to improving your experience in this game. You want 2 drip-fed maps and one of them with a busted art style? If that's what you're gonna settle with, then that's exactly what I mean. You don't respect yourself. Because these guys are backed up by a multi-billion-dollar company. And these people are the ones talking about, oh, this game was years in the making. Oh, look, at launch we're gonna have 16 remastered MW2 maps that we should have had last year. And when it comes to remastered MW3 maps, yeah, we're not gonna have that 9 months into the game, sorry. And then you're gonna drip feed us original content throughout because you just made them last minute, because let's face it, this game was created last minute. It was supposed to be a DLC. If you really want to see change in Call of Duty, you need to start calling out these developers and these publishers. And when people like the Scabmaster do it, and some of these other content creators like Blame Truth, Narrow Cinema, Gilmore, JB, Prime Pete, and all these other guys, what possesses you to start complaining at them and crying in the comments when these are the people that are vocalizing some of the concerns that the community has? How else do you expect a change in the game? It's exactly what happened last year with MW 2019 Part 2, and they used it as a selling point for the next game. And now you want to tell me you're satisfied with a game called MW3 with no MW3 maps. Somebody make it make sense, because to me, to the Scatmaster, it really doesn't. And if you want to argue, you want to complain in the comments section, first of all, short bus. Secondly, you need to do a lot of self-reflection, because it seems like you don't have any self-respect. Look guys, the point is, people need to stop settling for less. Other people need to stop crying at people who complain for wanting more. And these developers and Activision, they simply need to stop being shameless. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What do you think of this new season? Do you think Season 5 is going to live up to the hype or improve this game's experience whatsoever? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. Also, don't forget to leave a comment on the community tab for the Q&A in the next video. And yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Toodles.
This ain't in my body.